Hello, dear students. We are now with an analysis of chapter 8 of Aristotle's Poetics. We have done so far that up to chapter 7, in which we have seen how Aristotle defines tragedy and how he gives the formative parts of tragedy. He also makes difference between tragedy and epic writings, as well as he also makes the difference between tragedy and comedies. Now, as we also discussed, that Aristotle's Poetics is basically concerned with the tragedy. He speaks very little about comedy and other elements of poetry. So, while describing tragedy, he now, as he has given us the formative parts, now he discusses about the plot, and we also saw about the plot, what kind of the plot there should be and what is a plot, the definition of the plot in chapter 7. Now we have chapter 8, in which Aristotle discusses the unity of plot. This is also very important, that the plot should be united. It must have unities. Now, how Aristotle describes about the unity of the plot? Let us see. He makes two significant statements so far the unity of plot concerns. Number one, that is the formal unity. And number two is the unity of plot must be organic one. So the formal unity, he says, cannot be imparted to the plot merely by the story of a single hero's life. That is, we cannot take all the incidents and the events of a single hero only. That is, there are the other side heroes and other characters available in the tragedy or in the plot. And there are so many incidents takes place in a hero's or in a character's life. Therefore, Aristotle says that infinitively varied things happen to the hero. Therefore, dramatist must make a proper selection out of these numerous incidents. So it is the duty of the dramatist that how he selects the numerous incidents that happened in the life of hero. He cannot introduce all of them. So it is the major work by the dramatist to select the important incident of a hero's life. He says that as we in other arts see that artist imitates only one object. There are many objects, but the artist imitates only one object. In the same way, dramatist must imitate only one action of hero's life. He should not take more than one actions at a time in the tragedy or in the plot construction. Secondly, he says that the unity of plot must be organic one. That is, here he describes it should be like a living organism, and in a living organism every part is essential for the life of the organism. That is just like we are the human beings, we are the organism, and every part of our body is important. Hand is also important, fingers are also important, the ears are also important, eyes are also important. You cannot remove any one part without injury to it, and then there is no existence of that part if that is removed from the whole. So the whole, as we saw in the definition of the plot construction, that whole is important. Whole should be maintained, whole should be beautiful. Otherwise, in the same way, as we see, if the hand is cut off from the body, we know very well that the body will not be beautiful, as well as there is no importance of the cut hand. So he says in the same way, there should be nothing superfluous in the tragic action. There should be no action which can be transposed or removed without damaging the whole. So, no action can be taken in order to you remove the one thing from that. That is, without damaging the whole, you cannot remove any single action from the plot. So, it is only such organic unity of action which Aristotle considers essential. So, it is very much essential that plot should have the organic unity. That is, no part cannot be removed from the whole. And if it is removed, then the whole will be destroyed. Aristotle has said very something, or we can say said nothing much about the unity of time and place. He has said only the unity of the plot, unity of the story. But later on we saw that the many critics derived from his philosophy the unity of time, the unity of place. But we must understand that Aristotle has spoken too much only upon the unity of action. And unity of action is the essential part, or is the essence of any tragedy or plot. Now come to the chapter 9. There was only those things in chapter 8 that were about the plot. We saw that what should be the unity of the plot. That is, the unity of action must be in the plot. Now, Aristotle describes or speaks about the nature of poetic truth and poetry and history. That is, he compares and contrasts poetry with the history. But let us first see the poetic truth. So, as we already have read what Aristotle said, that poetry does not aim at photographic realism. That is, it does not draw a photo of the reality. But what is the function of a poet? The function of a poet is to relate not what actually happened, but what may possibly happen according to the law of probability and necessity. Very important line in this chapter. That is, what is the function of a poet? So, function of a poet is not is to relate not what has actually happened, what is there, what actually has happened, what is the reality, but what may possibly happen. So, a poet has to create the story or the plot that must describe that this can also happen in our life. So, it should be according to the law of probability and necessity. So the plot or the, we can say, the poet or the dramatist should follow the law of probability and necessity. His duty is not only to describe what is there in real, but his duty is to also tell the audience and readers that this can also happen. By probability and necessity, he means that the event described should be such as are possible in real life, that they are in the real life, but they should follow each other logically and inevitably. So, what tragedy imitates is not life, but some conception of life. So, it is the duty of a dramatist to imitate not only the life, real life, but he must imitate some conception of life, that this is the ideal life. So he has to focus on the ideal thing of life also, some possibility of life that is seized by the poet's mind. Then he says that poetry is an imitation of poet's idea of life. So it's not just copy or the photostat or the photograph of the reality, but it is an imitation of the poet's idea of life. What the poet thinks, what the poet says that it can also be possible, or the poet says that it is necessary. And in this way, this leads to universality. That is, the poetry, the plot, the story leads to the universality. It means that it is true everywhere. It is an ideal position that one should follow, or it is the worst position that one must ignore. That can also happen in anyone's life. Then he makes the difference between poetry and history. He says that poetry is more philosophical than history. So poetry is more philosophical. Why? Because it gives an idealized and ordered imitation of life. So it puts us an idealized imitation of life, as I already told you. Whereas history doesn't. History only relates and describes the events chronologically. So he says the poet is in better position to generalize the law of things and makes us understand them. So the poet generalizes the things, and he also makes us to understand them. And such understanding is the essence of philosophy. If we understand that these are the general things, these things can happen to anyone, it is the essence of philosophy. That is, the understanding of such things is very important. He says, Aristotle says that a historian, what does a historian do? A historian recounts actual events chronologically without showing the chain of cause and effect. He does not make any chain of cause and effects. What are the results? What are the regions of these things? He just only mentions that these things happened. He merely tells us what did happen. But tragedy or the poetry shows us what could or indeed must happen. This is the function of the dramatist. He has to show in the drama or in the poetry that this can also happen or this must be happen. It can only be done by the poet. So here the poet is very different from a historian. His duty is not only to mention or recount the actual events, but it is his duty that he should show us what could or indeed must be Must have. So the poet, whether in drama or in epic, shows us what persons of certain type inevitably or probably do and say and suffer. Okay, these are the kind of persons, certain types of persons, and they probably will do so and will say so and will suffer in this way. So this is the duty of the poet to select such things of a hero's life which can become an ideal for the others, and that leads to the universalism, universal truth in another sense. So the truth that he is telling is of universal application. That is, whatever the poet or the dramatist describes or mentions or makes a plot or a story, that should have an universal application. That should apply to all and everyone. Therefore, a poet is the maker of the story because he selects the incidents as to show how and why they occur. So, in fact, the dramatist, the poet is the maker of the story, and he selects the incidents from the life of the hero, that these are the important incidents and they occurred because of they occurred in such a manner and they occurred because of that. So how and why is answered in the imitation done by the poet or the dramatist. So he is the maker of the plot or the story. And cause and effect arouse the emotions proper to tragedy. So what are the reason, what will be the result of such action? These becomes universal and therefore they arouse the emotions proper to tragedy. So emotions can be aroused only if the cause and effect is involved in the imitation. Otherwise, just like in history that has only the mention of the or recounts of the actual things, they don't arouse our emotions. When we read history, no emotions are aroused. We just remind and recount the record. Then Aristotle says that tragedians need not rigidly and in detail adhere to the traditional stories. Then he says that the dramatist or the tragedians should not attach themselves or adhere themselves to the traditional stories only. But they are well advised by Aristotle that they should keep the historical or traditional names for their representation. So they need not rigidly adhere to the traditional stories, but they should adhere to the historical and traditional names. They should be the same for their representation. So here then Aristotle says that the word poet means a maker, and a poet is a maker not because he makes verses but because he makes his plots. So because he writes verses and poems, he is not a poet or he is not a maker in that sense, but he is a maker in the sense that he creates stories, he makes stories, he makes his plots. Even when he takes his subject from history and tradition, he gives it to artistic ordering and selection. So the selection and ordering of the incidents, even they have been brought out from the history and tradition. A poet gives them a shape, an order, and an artistic order. So the plot is distinguished from the story. The story may be traditional, borrowed, but the poet always makes his own plots. So he makes own plots from the story. The plot lies not in the incidents but in the arrangement of the incident. How he makes arrangement of the incidents, how he arranges the incidents. It's okay that he might take that incident or the story from the traditional or from the history, but he must have to arrange those incidents in such a way which can rouse our emotions as well as they can give us the cause and effect. Aristotle disregards the plot which doesn't have any probable or necessary connections. As we have said, already explained everything. In this way, in these two chapters, what we have seen in the ninth chapter, we saw about the poetic, poetic, the nature of the poetic truth, and poetry and history. And in chapter 8, we saw the unity of the plot. That is the unity of action in the plot. Dear students, thank you very much for enjoying this video lecture. I hope you will do so. So, thank you very much. Hello, dear students. We are now with an analysis of chapter 8 of Aristotle. Survey. ओ सुरभि, अच्छा अरे इधर आना एक बार। ये वाईफाई क्यों नहीं चल रहा है इसमें?
नेट नहीं चल रहा है। अच्छा ये
हाँ
तो यहाँ से बंद हो गया है।
अरे
नहीं चालू ही है, फेदर टच वाली चीज़ है, उसको बंद करके नहीं चल रही है। अभी ग्रीन होएगा तभी चले। हिलाते रहो, थोड़ा सा ग्रीन हो जाए।
क्या कम आ रहा है क्या? हाँ नमस्कार संतोष जी। अरे भाई साहब काहे की बधाई दे रहे हो जो? हाँ वो तो डेपुटेशन किया है, 25 दिन का है, अभी 30 तारीख तक का। अब देखो भगवान क्या करता है, अभी एक बार तो आ ही गए डेपुटेशन, हुआ ही है जी। हाँ वही तो अब क्या आप लोगों की शुभकामनाओं से बैठा है जी, ताज़ा काम नहीं तो। ऑफिस ला मैं तो जाऊँगा। हाँ जाऊँगा ना। हाँ वो भेजेगी क्या खुद से? अच्छा अच्छा। वो तो रिटायर हो गया, वो तो रिटायर हो गया। हाँ, तो क्या क्या मैटर था इनका राजीव का? अच्छा 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 ठीक है। हाँ हाँ हुए थे। अच्छा अच्छा। तो कॉलेज। हाँ 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 हाँ। अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ हाँ। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ 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 हाँ। हम्म। हाँ हाँ हाँ। अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ हाँ हाँ। सही है, सही बात है, सही। अच्छा तो वो भी कैसे करेंगे तो फिर होत वाली बुलाया था। हम्म। तो इसकी रिकवरी कर ली क्या? और अब जो फिक्सेशन है इसका वो ये पुराने के हिसाब से करल है? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। हम्म। मतलब इनका इनका कुल मिला के जो है कि वो पेमेंट को जो आपने से वो गलत हुआ है ना, और उसका इन्होंने उठा लिया है जो इसकी रिकवरी होनी है। रिकवरी भी चले, चलो रिकवरी को छोड़ो, लेकिन वो वेतन तो पुराने से मिलेगा ना फिर। आप और वो पुराने वाला तो ऑलरेडी किया वो होगा ही ये तो। और अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, तो फिर क्या वो सिक्स पे वाला मिलेगा इसको? अच्छा अच्छा, ओहो, ओ हाँ, तो सिक्स पे में तो 8,000 वाली ग्रेड पे वो वाली मिलेगी। सही है सर, जोरदार मामला है, इतना बड़ा जटिल। हाँ क्या दिक्कत है। हम्म। ये तो ऐसे ही है इसका काम। ये तो नल्लू ही है तो, और क्या है, वो तो डायरेक्ट रेट के फोन आते थे तो भी आपको संभालता होगा, दूसरे को संभालता होगा। वो मैं हिंदी से बात करवाता था ना पहले। हाँ, ये छुपता है, ये छुपता है। तो तेरे परिचित है तो क्या भटका में बढ़िया है, तू तू तो कह रहा है मैं यहाँ आना चाहता हूँ, यहाँ कैसे काम करेगा फिर? नहीं, कहाँ कह रहे हो तो यार, एक बात तो गवर्नमेंट के प्रकरण है, सरकारी प्रकरण है, अपन क्या कर सकते हैं इनमें? इसमें वो तो मैं, ऐसा है, मैं सुनो, मैं कल आपकी बात भी करा दूंगा और मैं बता भी दूंगा, हम दोनों बात हो जाएंगे। हाँ करा देंगे, करा देंगे, करा देंगे। अरे ये भी जाने में अशोक जी की अभी ड्यूटी से होते हैं, है ना। और वो दूसरे, फिर दूसरा फिर वही चमार आएगा। वो अब वो कह रहे थे मेरे को कि यार, मैं तो डेपुटेशन सीनियर मैं हूँ वैसे वहाँ पे सबसे, लेकिन लेकिन अब वो डेपुटेशन रह गए, मैं पढ़ लेता तो हो रहा नहीं था, मेरे को नीचे ही बुका। मैं तो मेरा उनका आने जाने में ठीक है मेरा। अच्छा। हम्म, हम्म। चलो मैं कल आपकी बात करा देता हूँ, है ना? सही। हाँ वो तो दवा वाला तो लगेगा, वो तो पुराना होगा, उसको पुराने से मिलेगा ये। राजेश जी और भी ऐसी क्या उतावल करते हैं, यहाँ से मिलेगा तो बाद में मिल जाएगा भाई। अब जैसे, लेकिन एक बात हो, इसका वो फिक्सेशन पे भी रोक लगा दी, नहीं तो वो कम से कम सेवंथ पे में पुरानी वाले के हिसाब से तो हो जाता है ना फिक्सेशन। हाँ सही है भाई, ये वो ही मैटर हो गया जी, मैं तो बताऊँ, जैसे आशीष जी वगैरह नहीं है ना, उन्होंने, हाँ उन्होंने ली नहीं, तो वो उनका पुराने के हिसाब से कम सेवंथ में फिक्सेशन तो हो गया। अरे ये है, और भी है साहब दो चार और। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। चलो भैया, जोर से करवा लेते हैं ये तो। ऐसे है जी, इनके तो खटके तगड़े हैं। अब वो हाँ नावा बैठा है, वो जबकि है तो वहीं पे, लेकिन वैसे नावा बैठा है। नहीं नावा ही है। कहाँ गए रहने वाला? अच्छा, सही। हाँ, हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ हाँ हाँ। हाँ, रिटर्न में थोड़ी गया तो आदेश। ओ, बिल्कुल बात भी करा दूंगा मैं केविन से। और हाँ नहीं नहीं, और मेरे भी थोड़ी समझ में तो आ गई ना। ये तो ऐसे हैं भाई साहब, लेकिन अब क्या करें भाई। आज एक कुछ ही नहीं होगा, इसके अलावा भी फाइनेंस के मैटर हैं, इनको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। नहीं नहीं नहीं, कुछ नहीं होगा। अच्छा कहाँ पे, जयपुर? बस बढ़िया बढ़िया। हाँ बढ़िया, अच्छी बात है। कलेक्ट्रेट में कहाँ बैठोगे, कौन से कमरे में? अच्छा पारिक। चलो चलो, बढ़िया बढ़िया। ओ बिल्कुल बात करा दूंगा, जाते ही है ना। ठीक ठीक। यार सुरभि, आज तो नेट ही नहीं चल रहा। सुरभि बेटी।